In the bustling streets of San Francisco in the early 1980s, a man named Chris Gardner carried more than just a heavy medical device in his hand. He carried dreams, desperation, and a young son who depended on him for everything. Chris wasn't born with privilege. Raised in poverty in Milwaukee, he endured abuse, abandonment, and a childhood full of uncertainty. But through it all, Chris held on to one belief: life can be better if you fight for it. In his early adult years, Chris tried his hand at selling medical equipment. The job wasn't bringing in enough money, but he was determined to succeed. One day, walking through the city, Chris noticed a man stepping out of a red Ferrari. He asked the man what he did for a living. The man answered, "I'm a stockbroker." In that moment, Chris saw a new path, a way out of poverty and into a future of stability and success. He decided to become a stockbroker, even though he had no college degree, no financial background, and no connections. But life had other plans. Soon, he lost his home, his savings, and even his wife. He was left with nothing but the clothes on his back and his 2-year-old son, Christopher Jr. They slept in subway station bathrooms, parks, and homeless shelters. Chris would carry his son on his shoulders while he went to interviews and studied for his broker exams. He worked unpaid at a brokerage internship during the day and stood in soup kitchen lines by night. He never gave up. Even when rejected by companies, even when money was so tight they couldn't afford food, Chris never let his son see him give up hope. He protected his child not just from the cold and hunger, but from the fear that they might never get out. After months of struggle, Chris passed his licensing exam and was finally offered a full-time position at Dean Witter Reynolds. It was the breakthrough he needed. Over the next few years, he climbed the ladder of the finance world. In 1987, he founded his own brokerage firm, Gardner Rich & Company, with just $10,000 and one small piece of furniture in his office, a desk he had built himself. Years later, Chris Gardner sold a stake in his firm in a multi-million-dollar deal and became a self-made millionaire. He also became a philanthropist, investing in homeless shelters, job training programs, and initiatives for single-parent families. The lesson: Chris Gardner's story is not just about rags to riches, it's about the relentless pursuit of purpose. When life knocked him down, he stood up again, every single time. He taught the world that success isn't about what you have, it's about how hard you're willing to fight for your dreams. As Chris once said, "Don't ever let somebody tell you, you can't do something. Not even me." So when you're feeling stuck or hopeless, remember the man who walked the streets with his son and a broken dream and turned it into a life of meaning, wealth, and inspiration.